Hi, ladies and dudes. This is Rebecca Lynn Barkley, aka Boobop1970. This is my review for a day. And today's review, ladies and dudes, well, my friends, it's that time again for another movie review. But I decided to redo one of my old movie reviews because I remember last year on August the 5th, 2014, I really did mess up my movie review of Howl's Moving Castle. And I already know why. Because of my sentence problems. I am not really good at doing a movie review while I'm trying to make up a sentence of what I want to say about the plot of the story, the characters, or my strongest or my weakest points of the film, if you know what I mean. But I'm going to do the very best I can to redo this movie review all over again and try to make it better than before. So anyway, ladies and dudes, I decided to go ahead and redo my movie review number 35 of Howl's Moving Castle. And also, I want to tribute this movie review to my three special YouTubers, the ones who really do care about the movie so much. One is my best buddy Alex, the guy who does movie questions answered. I do understand he loves this movie because it's so darn underrated. The other is my buddy Hutta the Hutta Mekian. Thanks to him, he did put this movie in his top 10 best Miyazaki or Studio Ghibli films of all time. And also for my best friend Henry, because my buddy Henry is such a big fan of Christian Bale. And yes, Henry, I will let you know, this is a Christian Bale film. This is one of my favorite Christian Bale films of all time, and it's still my number one favorite even to this day. I will say the Batman saga is definitely my second favorite, if you know what I mean. So anyway, without further ado, ladies and dudes, here is my redo of my 35th movie review of Howl's Moving Castle. And I will let you see this picture. Yes, this is Howl's Moving Castle. It is kind of weird, don't you think? Okay, let's head on to the main plot of the story. To tell you the truth, ladies and dudes, this is the most hardest thing ever about the main plot of the story for Howl's Moving Castle. I tried really hard to explain it, and I tried so hard to write it down on a piece of paper, but I'll do the best I can. It's a story about a young woman named Sophie who's going on the most epic, most magical journey of her life to the land of the waste and making friends with wizards, demons, and this scarecrow who's a turnip head, so they could live together in this big, giant, funny-looking house called Howl's Moving Castle. And also, poor Sophie got involved in a curse thanks to the evil Witch of the Waste. She turned poor Sophie into an old woman where she could no longer be beautiful again. And Sophie needs to find a way to break this spell that she is in. But also, she needs to find a way to save everybody else's curses that everybody got involved in. Well, except for the little boy, Marco, and that old dog, Heen. They were the only two characters in the whole entire movie who doesn't have any curses. So anyway, that is my whole entire plot of the story. Like I said, this is the most hardest one of all for what I want to explain to you about the main plot of the story. But anyway, I did the best I could for it. And okay, ladies and dudes, here's the most biggest moment that everybody has been waiting for. What the heck do I think about this movie called Howl's Moving Castle? Well, to tell you the truth ladies and dudes, I really do love this movie. This is one of the best Hayao Miyazaki films of all time, and it's still one of my favorite Hayao Miyazaki films even to this day. And I did watch it again on Wednesday and yesterday. I will say it had a really good storyline, it has great characters, fantastic rich animation. I love the sceneries and highlight moments of the film. It had a really awesome score. And I will say this movie will truly blow you away if you believe in magic. I believe in magic. Do you? So anyway, ladies and dudes, let's head on to my strongest points and the weakest points of Howl's Moving Castle. I will say for the strongest points of this movie is a tie. Just a tie between the beautiful rich animation and the beautiful rich English dub. I will say for the animation, it is so darn well done and very well detailed. I also love the character designs as well for the animation. It was pure and it's very clean, very original. It's so freaking rare. It's colorful, it's rich, it's beautiful. I will say, out of all the Miyazaki films that I've seen, from Nausicaa, The Valley of the Wind, to Ponyo, I haven't seen The Wind Rises yet, but I will do that movie review very soon in the later on future. I will say that Howl's Moving Castle is one of the best Hayao Miyazaki films I have ever seen that has beautiful and very well detailed rich animation. I mean, the animation will blow you away big time. So yeah, the animation is the first strongest point in the movie, and for the second strongest point in the movie, it has to go to the English dub. And to tell you the truth is, I will say for the Japanese dub, it was okay. But there were only 3 good actors I do enjoy for the Japanese dub. One for Sophie, the other for Howl, and the other for Marco. I think they were the 3 best performances I ever heard from the Japanese dub. But as for the English dub, it is 10 times better. I mean, thanks to Disney, they picked the rightful actors and actresses at the very rightful time. I love all the actors and actresses who did a very well done job for this movie. I love Gene Simmons as the older Sophie, and these 2 wonderful ladies who played Madame Summerman and the Witch of the Waste. I will say the best one out of all of them has to go to Christian Bale as Howl. I mean, Christian Bale did one heck of a good job playing a very good, memorable character who is somewhat of a bad A-word character in so many ways, but all the way he's just a coward. But I will say he's a 50-50. But yes, ladies and dudes, I will say the English dub is 10 times better. I wonder how did Hana the Hanamekian enjoyed his version of Howl's Moving Castle in the Finnish version, since he loves Finnish movies, if you know what I mean. If I know my good friend Hana Hanamekian pretty well. But yes, ladies and dudes, the English dub is my all-time favorite, hands down for anime-wise. So, well, don't get me wrong, I do like a couple of Japanese dubs for a couple of animes here and there, like Pokemon, Dragon Ball Z, Basilisk, Rumbling Hearts, and all that stuff. So yeah, I do like a couple of Japanese dubs here and there, but it'll be way too hard for me to pick a Japanese dub that came from a Hayao Miyazaki film. Maybe the one I like is from Ponyo. I gotta go back and rewatch it somehow. But yes, ladies and dudes, I will say for the strongest points of the movie will be the English dub and the animation. And as for the weakest points of the movie, it's 0. I have no weak points at all for this movie. And now let's go on to the characters of the movie. And I'll go with the 4 best characters I have ever seen in this film. Okay, one of them is a kid named Marco. One of the best characters out there who is not involved with a curse. I fell in love with Marco. He is such a very cute kid. I think he's definitely one of the best mature kid characters I have ever seen in the Miyazaki film, not just Ponyo and Sosuke from Ponyo. I mean, this kid he's very well matured. He knows how to take care of himself. I think he's a young wizard in training. I think Hal had trained him somehow here and there. I do like the part where he disguised himself as an old man. That was pretty cool. And all I could say, he's a very well matured character, and I like mature kid characters. This kid deserves to have a big thumbs up. The other character I want to mention is Calcifer, played by Billy Crystal. I will say this is the best performance that Billy Crystal have ever done in his career. I mean, I love a character where he plays that funny looking fire demon who's controlling the castle. I mean, this guy has a really cool storyline, has a great personality, great attitude. He's such a great comedy relief character. He's really funny for all this time from start to finish, and sometimes he can be a bit serious in many things here and there. Hard for me to say. Okay, another character I want to mention is Howl, played by Christian Bale. I love this character to death. This is one of my most favorite Miyazaki characters of all time. I mean, this character is such a bad A-word character. And sometimes he can be of a wuss. I mean, Hal is so handsome and good looking. Here's a picture of him, you know, with his gorgeous looking face. And I love him when he looks like I think he's a type of bird monster, I guess. He's really awesome as the bird monster. I will say Hal has a great storyline, great personality, great attitude. He has good looks and charms, and I do like the character development and chemistry that he had with Sophie and the other characters. I will say, yeah, Howl is a really awesome character overall. And the final character I want to mention is Sophie. I rather prefer the older Sophie than the younger Sophie. I will say the older Sophie is definitely one of the best characters in the whole entire movie. I mean, Sophie is definitely the most memorable character in the whole entire movie. I mean, she had a fantastic storyline. She has a great personality, great attitude. She's a very serious character all the way through from start to finish. And she's very headstrong, she's very wise, and she knows what she is doing. And all in all, she's just a very brave character. And I really do love when Jean Simmons played the older Sophie. I think she did a fantastic job playing a very older and wiser character. Well, while Sophie's in a curse, if you know what I mean. Hard for me to say, but yeah, I guess I don't have anything else to say, so let's go on and I'll tell you about my final thoughts of Howl's Moving Castle. Overall, Howl's Moving Castle is one of the most underrated Hayao Miyazaki films of all time. It had a great storyline, great characters, fantastic animation, it has a really good score, and this is one of the best films that you gotta watch that has great, rich, detailed animation. And so, for my scale to 1 to 10, I decided to give this movie a perfect high rating score of 10 out of 10. I hope this movie review is better than the other one, I hope. And that's pretty much it. So that's my whole entire movie review of Howl's Moving Castle, my redo version of it. And join me next time on my next Halloween movie review. And one of the most underrated Disney films of all time. So for my next movie review is The Black Cauldron. I wonder where that come from. So be prepared for this one to come, and I will see you all later. Sayonara.